All right, so let's get into it. This is going to be my NASDAQ July outlook, and this is based off of the price action that happened yesterday, or actually today, sorry, July 11th. Right, so first things first, what a move, right? Price dropped, I think it was what, 600 points, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, about 611 points. That's crazy. But all that being said, all this move was to me, reading in higher time frame structure, is just the beginning or the solidification of the bullish range that was created starting from this low here and now to this high here. And I say this is the bullish range until we see that price breaks this low. If it breaks that low, then yeah, I'd be full on bearish. But for now, what I saw, the reason why I would say that this is the bullish range, you can say that this low was a solidification, or you could say that this low, if you want to be a little bit more conservative, for the break, right? And then after that, I mean, looking for the bullish, you can obviously see that price broke this high. Well, it started here, broke this high, then these highs, whatever. Cool. So that's the beginning of that move. So now my outlook on this, I want to see possibly one of two scenarios. The first one would be just the simple, obviously, push back down or push down into the discount side of this range, look for a point of interest down in this area, and then, you know, push price back up. But the other one is to look for the immediate correction in the premium here to fill in this 4-hour inefficiency that was created from yesterday. And I have marked here these two lines, which is representative of a 10-second point of interest. And the reason why I chose that specifically was based off of my refinement of my point of interest around 50% of this 4-hour inefficiency that I have marked. Now, the reason why I want to see price come up to this specific area is it's around the 50% area of that inefficient pricing. And once I started refining, going down 5 minute, 1 minute, whatever, let's actually do this here, bar replay, select bar. This is what I ended up seeing. So first thing, we're at 50%. That's cool. Now I'm gonna get rid of that. What I ended up seeing was this right here around this area. Notice this wick, this cleared this liquidity here and then dropped. And then notice that this wick here mitigated that and then went lower. Obviously you can't see anything in here, right? But what we can see, if you have the seconds time frame, you can zoom in, which we'll do in a second. But if you don't, you just use the logic of like, oh yeah, this is definitely a point of interest potentially because of the fact that it mitigated this wick here, and then this seemed to be the cause of something, and then the price dropped lower. But what ended up happening, I just kept zooming in, right? Saw there was a 15-second POI, and it's even more clear that price mitigated this wick here. Then you see the wick here, mitigated liquidity there, dropped, and price never came back to it. And just to get a little bit more resolution, what we ended up seeing was perfectly a 10-second point of interest here that I would like to play. And this is why I want to see price come back to this area to continue the sells moving forward. Now, we could see the 5 seconds and see if it's a little bit more resolute, which it is, but the 1 second, it's like there's probably like nothing clear here. Keep zooming in. Oh, actually there is. Right. Cool. So it's inefficient pricing here, but I think I like the 10-second the best. So I stick to the 10-second. Yeah, so that's what I want to see moving forward. Now, the play on today. The reason why it happened, or the logic behind finding the move here, actually resided in a 15-second point of interest, but I missed it because I was busy doing work, right? So first things first, I was expecting, if you guys saw in the chat, I was expecting price to retrace immediately before all this drop happened back up into this 4-hour point of interest here. And I neglected the fact that price immediately tested it with this little wick right there. I didn't see that. I completely missed that, and so I missed the moves on the day. But the reason why that is what caused the move is if we do bar replay again, come here, all right, and we go down to, say, the 1 minute time frame just to start. We go up here. Let's do that. What I saw in hindsight was the fact that we got the catalyst, price ran lower, cleared liquidity, then had an immediate push down here. And so now what happens based off of that is I see a range created from this high here down to this low there, right? And now we look for pricing in the premium. And first thing that stands out to me would have been this inefficient pricing here. Price didn't mitigate 50% of it. So I would have marked that up there like that. And then what I would have marked up also would have been this point of interest here, 50%. All right, cool. So now I have my 2 points of interest. I'm gonna delete this box. All right, so now just keep going down the time frames, refining, and nothing clear on the 30-second. But what is clear to me is that this POI is already mitigated based off the fact you can see that there's inefficient pricing and then price mitigated that. So that's clear to me that something happened inside of this area that causes mitigation. So this is good. Let me go down to the 15-second and boom, there it is. Mitigated right here. 15-second point of interest or 15-second sponsored candle. That's what sparked the play for the day. And if you would have caught that move, it would have been here, stop loss, or if I would have caught that move, it would have looked something like this. Stop loss would have been at the high. Oh my gosh, so hard to do. All right, 4.75. And then what I would have done, all right, here. What I aimed for with the low, my first target would have been the low, the structural low, that would have solidified this range, which would have been here. Right, and so looking there, that would have been about there. That would have been 291, almost 300 points. And if I would have been holding this, then obviously I'd still be holding it currently, but I would have aimed for my next target would have been 50% of the overall range, which would have been 108% gain on the account if you're risking 1% of your account, right? But this actually would have been like my day trading target if I had caught that move, right? So it's pretty neat. But all in all, I missed that move, but the moves going forward, I said that I'm looking for this point of interest here inside of this area, which is 50% of the 4-hour inefficient pricing in the premium of this side of the range. And looking forward, what I want to see is price retrace back up to here, and tag me in, and then move lower, at least to 50% of the range. And then I'll start looking for buy side points of interest. And then, yeah. All right. So that's it for my analysis on NASDAQ. If you have any questions or thoughts, let me know. Peace.